Iran blasts kills nearly 100 add to Mideast tensions. Confidential Jeffrey Epstein documents unsealed. Japan makes last-ditch effort to find earthquake survivors. China conducts patrols in South China Sea. Zuckerberg sold nearly $500 million of Meta stock. TikTok takes aim at Amazon.
Hello, I'm Johnny. Thank you for joining us on Funday News. It's Friday, January 5th, and here are your top stories. On Wednesday, Iran's health minister told state television in a revised count of casualties, the blast near the grave of Iranian commander Qasem Soleimani left 95 people dead and 211 others injured. The attacks came a day after Israel was believed to be behind the killing of a key leader of the Iran-backed Hamas militant group in Lebanon's capital, Beirut. The blast, at least one of which was caused by a bomb, state TV said, came on the 4th anniversary of Soleimani's death in a U.S. airstrike and threatens to accelerate tensions in the region that have spiked since the start of the Israel-Hamas war in Gaza.
IRINN, another state television channel, reported that the first explosion near the grave of Soleimani was caused by a bomb placed in a suitcase inside a Peugeot 405 car and appeared to be detonated remotely. Iran's Interior Minister Ahmad Vahidi said the first explosion happened at 3 p.m. local time. Vahidi said the second, more deadly blast took place 20 minutes later, when other pilgrims came to help the injured. No group has claimed responsibility for the blasts, yet Iran's President Ibrahim Raisi blamed Israel for the explosions, saying it will pay a heavy price. The analysts and a U.S. official speculated that the blast had the hallmarks of a terrorist attack.
Several previously confidential documents related to Jeffrey Epstein were made public in federal court in New York after a year-long battle over their release. The first of what are expected to be hundreds of documents identifying more than 150 individuals were unsealed Wednesday. While it was speculated the documents would reveal an Epstein client list, many of the names featured in the unsealed documents were widely reported former associates of the late financier, including former President Bill Clinton and Prince Andrew of Britain. The first documents included emails, transcripts of depositions, and legal filings.
Former Presidents Bill Clinton and Donald Trump are mentioned in newly unsealed Jeffrey Epstein-related court documents, but they are not accused of any wrongdoing involving the disgraced sex trafficking financier. Clinton, who sometimes flew aboard Epstein's private plane, is listed repeatedly in the documents. He was the topic of an argument over the credibility of a witness who said she saw the former president when he was a guest of Epstein. Trump's name appears in a document in which Epstein is quoted as saying he would invite the then real estate mogul to join him at a casino. In another document, a witness said she was never asked to engage in sexual relations with Trump.
Soldiers, firemen, and emergency personnel made last-ditch efforts to rescue any survivors still trapped in the rubble from a New Year's Day quake that devastated an area on Japan's northwest coast and killed at least 78 people. Defense Minister Minoru Kihara said Thursday about 4,600 personnel have been deployed to help in the rescue and relief efforts. The military dispatched an amphibious vessel carrying heavy machinery to the coast of the Noto Peninsula, while sniffer dogs scoured the wreckage. Prime Minister Fumio Kishida said there is a race against time to find survivors and called for an all-out effort for the rescue operations, as a crucial 72-hour window is soon set to close.
According to Takahide Kiyuchi, an executive economist at the Nomura Research Institute, the loss from the earthquake is currently estimated to be around 800 billion yen, $5.6 billion. Kishida said the cabinet would meet next Tuesday to discuss using reserve funds to help the quake-hit area. Japan's Nikkei 225 dropped on the year's first trading day after speculation the Federal Reserve would keep interest rates elevated for longer hurt technology shares, and as the earthquake dragged down some companies. The yen came under renewed pressure on expectations that the earthquake will make it harder for the Bank of Japan to abolish negative interest rates.
China's military will conduct routine patrols with its naval and air forces in the South China Sea from Wednesday to Thursday, the military's Southern Theater Command said, as ongoing tensions simmer in the region over disputed territories. China's military did not say where exactly the patrols would be held, but they were announced as the Philippines and the United States were carrying out a two-day joint patrol in the highly strategic waterway, a move that likely irked Beijing. The maritime exercises between Manila and Washington, which began on Wednesday, are the second in less than 2 months and follow Beijing's warning to the Philippines that any miscalculation in their escalating dispute in the South China Sea will bring a resolute response.
Chinese and U.S. warships were in the South China Sea on Thursday, conducting rival exercises in the disputed waters amid heightened tensions involving U.S. ally the Philippines. Beijing's People's Liberation Army, PLA, Southern Theater Command said the two-day deployment of its Navy and Air Force was carrying out routine patrols in the sea. It did not mention where exactly the patrols took place or give specific details of the goals of the exercises. They took place as the United States said an aircraft carrier strike group led by the USS Carl Vinson was conducting 2 days of drills with the Philippine Navy. Beijing claims almost the entire South China Sea and has ignored an international tribunal ruling that its assertions have no legal basis.
Mark Zuckerberg sold nearly $500 million of Meta Platforms Inc. shares in the final 2 months of 2023 after a 2-year hiatus in which the company's stock price hit its lowest in 7 years. According to a Tuesday regulatory filing, the Meta chief executive sold shares on every trading day between November 1st and the end of the year, unloading nearly 1.28 million shares for about $428 million. On average, each sale took in $10.4 million, with the largest on December 28th at $17.1 million.
Before this period, Zuckerberg had not sold Meta shares since November 2021. The company's share price rebounded 194% last year from a 7-year low near the end of 2022. Meta shares outperformed those of every other major tech giant except Nvidia Corp. last year and is now near its September 2021 record high. Zuckerberg, 39, owns about 13% of Meta and has a net worth of about $125 billion, according to the Bloomberg Billionaires Index, making him the 7th richest person in the world. Mark Benioff, Zuckerberg's peer in the tech world, also sold shares nearly every day in the second half of 2023.
TikTok, the global hit short video platform owned by ByteDance, aims to grow the size of its U.S. e-commerce business tenfold to as much as $17.5 billion this year, posing a bigger threat to Amazon.com. TikTok's ambitious target sets up a clash not just with Amazon, but also fellow Chinese-owned outfits Temu and Shein, who have been making big strides among younger American shoppers. Unlike its two rival discounters, TikTok is counting on its social media reach and the appeal of viral videos to hook buyers.
According to Bloomberg News, TikTok was last year on track to amass around $20 billion in global gross merchandise value, with Southeast Asia contributing the bulk of sales through its platform. Now, the company is seeking to expand sales in the US and Latin America, where it's planning to launch the e-commerce operation in coming months. ByteDance, founded more than a decade ago by Zhang Yiming and Liang Rubo, grew into an internet leader worth more than $200 billion thanks to the virality of short video platforms TikTok and Douyin. TikTok Shop is one of the fastest growing features for the Beijing-based, closely held company, which is seeking a new growth driver beyond social media advertising.
The answer for yesterday was B, underscore. The Labor Department figures underscore the shaky state of the economic recovery. Did you answer correctly? Now let's delve into the news of Japan makes last-ditch effort to find earthquake survivors. Number 1, dispatch. 派遣,调遣,派出. Troops have been dispatched to the area. Number 2, elevate. 提高,使升高. Smoking often elevates blood pressure. Number 3, sniff. 嗅,闻. The dog sniffed at my shoes. Next, we have a multiple choice question for everyone to practice. Which answer would you choose? You can write your answer in the comment section. The correct answer will be announced tomorrow. And that's all for today's Funday News. Be sure to tune in to Funday News from Monday to Friday and click the link below to join Funday for free. I'm Johnny Wu, your host. I'll see you next time.